on sedentary behaviors, sedentary people, and how to involve them better in physical activities. So I have a presentation. I just need to open it if I am able. I should be able to open it. Okay, just a second more. All right, here we go. So yeah, I would like to consider, even in light of the fact that we talk until now, the difficulties enhanced by the period we went through in this last year, that the sport instructor is a true superhero, because he fights daily against sedentary behaviors, and his superpowers are his competence and his empathy and niceness. So this is a characteristic that I think all of you have, because if you are employed in or volunteering in your organization, I'm sure, knowing the reference of your organization, I'm sure they did a great job at employing you. And what we will focus on this presentation, as I said, how can we transmit the importance of physical activities, and how can involve even the most stubborn couch potatoes. So let's try and see together. So right now, physical activities, inactivity is considered to be one of the most important public health concerns globally. So it's second just to smoking hazard. So in the Western world, a lot of people are inactive. They don't practice enough physical activity. And it's an important issue that us as grassroots sport organization need to address. The WHO, World Health Organization, estimates that 4/5 of European adolescents, so really young people that are the future of our nations, are inactive. So we, graphically speaking, we see just on 5 adolescents, we see just 1 is practicing physical activity. So this is a really gruesome representation of this statistic. So why the HEPA Council recommends to try to tackle sedentary behavior? Of course, we all know that physical activities can help improve our mental and physical states, because we know being active can help prevent a lot of non-communicable disease, heart disease, joint disease, and also we studied that physical activity can have a great impact on our cognitive abilities. And on the contrast of this information, we have that the rates of physical inactivity remain very worrying, as we've seen. Adolescents should be the ones that practice most physical activities, you know, team sports. I remember when I was little, sport was like a cool thing to do, and everyone wanted to do sport because it was really cool. And right now, what is cool is to play video games. I'm not innocent. I play video games too. I watch a lot of TV, but I know the importance of physical activities, and I practice it every day. So in details, what can be the consequences of physical inactivity? And also, why am I telling you? Because all of these should be the message that we should transmit to sedentary people. So, of course, we don't need to scare people into physical activity. We need to focus on the positive sides of having a healthy lifestyle. But what we are risking if we are physically inactive, of course, lungs and heart disease we risk high blood pressure, we risk obesity, artery clogging, And all of these diseases can cause really bad consequences and can chronicize themselves. So this is really a good bargain to avoid all of this in exchange of some days of physical activities, I think. A reason why our society is becoming more and more inactive in our age, in the age we live in, is because it's really easy to be inactive. We all know that now transport is more accessible. There are many activities that can be done at our home, television, internet, all of these activities that are passive are really easy to access to. So if before we've seen a lot of children playing in squares and getting together also on a relationship level, now we see a lot of children which are overweight and obese that are playing video games all day and are enabled by their parents, and this is really heavy weighting on our society, also at economical level. We all know that. So this is a meme because I I thought that we needed a little laugh during our training. So 60, even though we are laughing, 60% of the European population still leads a sedentary lifestyle. How proximity sport can aid this the contrast to the phenomenon of sedentary lifestyles? Of course, once we bring together a neighborhood and we educate the full neighborhood, from the elderly to the children to everyone, that a healthy lifestyle is the way to go, we are doing the right thing. We are doing the job that we need to do as organizations that are due to contrast the sedentary behaviors. But let's go in details. How to engage sedentary people. We all know that sedentary people are the one of the most difficult target to engage, because it's really hard to bring a child who is playing video games to play together with other children. It's really hard to make an isolated elder go out and have relationship with others. It's really hard to push adults in having physical activities, because their excuse is always, I have to work, I have the children, I can't go to the gym. Yeah, you don't have to go to the gym, we come to you. That's why next project. So the three pillars of neighborhood sport and activities with the neighborhood. It's not only about sport, it's about learning, first of all, because we need to transmit the message that it's really important to learn the benefits of physical activities. Activities, of course, physical activities for everyone. They should be soft physical activities at first. We can start with bungee jumping because most of them would not enjoy it. So maybe some gentle gymnastic for the elders, some traditional games for the children, some fitness for adults, all in the neighborhood, of course, using the neighborhood space. But on the usage of neighborhood space, I will go through deeper in the next few interventions. And socialization. We are trying to unite a neighborhood. So it's really important to focus on the socialization process, on how we can enhance and promote the socialization inside of the neighborhoods. Let's go into the point. Seminars should be pragmatic, and the knowledge transmit should be ready to use. We are all professionals today, and each one of us come from a different academic background. This is our job, and we love what we do. But people won't like to go through statistics and theoretical concept. They would like to know in practice what they can do to have healthy lifestyles lifestyle and some information about it. We don't need to give them statistics. They don't care about it. They care about practical tips. And so we need to be as simple and pragmatic as possible in transmitting this message. So transmit the information in a positive way. As I was saying before, we don't need to scare people into physical activity. It's no use. They will be scared at the moment, participate in 2 or 3 sessions, and then leave us there with our dumbbells. So what we need to focus is on the positive outcomes of having a healthy lifestyle. For example, more energy, better mood, self-love, new relationship. We need to focus on the positive instead of focusing on the negative. So another thing is blow their mind on with how easy it is to have a healthy lifestyle. Doesn't take going to the gym every day, doesn't take buying a treadmill for 1,000 euros. It just takes to be active in simple and small ways, like taking the stair instead of the elevator, walk to place where they would usually take the car, or start gardening activities. Everyday gestures can really have a deep impact on people, on how they will change their life towards a more healthy and active lifestyles. So during the time where they won't have the session of physical activities, organized physical activities, you need to explain to them how they can remain active even if they aren't doing fitness at the moment. Transmit the importance of balancing exercise with a healthy diet. Of course, even if we do like 5 sessions of total body every day, if we eat cheeseburger all day, it won't have any effect. So it's important to balance exercise with a healthy diet. So we need to teach them. We are all professional. We all have the basis to teach these things. These are just tips on how to transmit the message. The trials, so the physical activities, of course, we will have different activities for anyone. For example, children, depending on the number of children, try to organize a team tournament or a treasure hunt. These are really, really engaging things for children. They will have a little prize at the end, so they will be more engaged in it. Something that keeps them active and busy all day while parents socialize and participate in the organized activities, because we will need to have activities also for adults. So try to organize a yoga class in the middle of the park, or a total body fitness session in the condominium courtyard. The activities should be organized, keeping in mind that some of the participants may be inactive for a long time. We see 60% of the people that we will deal with are people who are inactive. So we need to adjust the level of exercises for all of them. And for seniors, of course, the common practices. So a walk in the park, some gentle gymnastic, anything that can involve them in an organic way, because with the elderly we need to focus more on the social aspects. So it doesn't need to have performance in it, just need for them to move and to socialize. About socialization, there are many ways in which you can connect people with each other. I will go also deeper in this in another presentation after the lunch break. So socialization is the best vehicle to keep your participants interested in the activities in the long run. So once they form bonds and relationship with each other, people will be more eager to participate in the physical activities, just because they will have friends in it, and so they would want to see their friends. During the first event, a small buffet with healthy food might be a great way to keep guests entertained, as well as make them socialize and form bonds. A buffet might be a thing, but it might also be a thing, a small conference or a small party in the neighborhood for children. We can think any event that can bring people to socialize. Remember to keep the attendance list handy during the event, and ask for the email address of the participants. Of course, we need a way to contact the people that we want to involved in the activities. So on the first event that we will do, there is a presentation event. You will need to have an attendance list of the participants. So you may gather the contact of the people that you would like to involve. You may also create a Facebook group to invite people to join. So yeah, Facebook is not used as it was before, but most middle-aged and elderly people still are really active on Facebook. So they they may feel the need to use it and to connect to other people through this really powerful tool. Get involved in the neighborhood life. So any event, even not within the next project, try to participate in, try to get involved in neighborhood life. You can offer to help organizing birthday parties for children, participate in local carnivals, and anything that is organized in the neighborhood. It's really important. So every move truly counts. I'm using the World Health Organization slogan and I integrate it in the next project. They will forgive me if I stole their, their slogan. Every move truly counts. So every move from us and every move from them. There are three keywords to guarantee the presence of sedentary people and normal people in our activities. Awareness, learning, and awareness. So we need to make them aware that a change of lifestyle can be done at any stage of one's life. We need to focus on the positive aspect of changing our lifestyle. We need to educate them truly, because this is also our role as grassroots sport organization, educators. Every day. So yeah, it's really good to organize physical activities in the neighborhood and structured physical activities, but we need to focus on everyday active. So taking the stairs, walking, like a little walk in the park every day. We need to transmit the message that being active is a everyday activity, and it doesn't have to be a chore, because garden, for example, for me, gardening isn't a chore. For me, walking isn't a chore. It's something that I really enjoy doing. So we need to transmit the message that the movement can be enjoyable and something that can be done every day. And of course, together. So once we form relationships and bond, we can really enhance our possibilities of having a healthy neighborhood, because people will involve themselves and will engage the people in the neighborhood when they don't feel like practicing physical activities. For example, something that really works for me, and it is a true example. I used to go running every day, but then I changed my job and I had to, work more, and I lost that habit. But then my friend asked me if I wanted to go running with him. And even though my hours really changed, I actually joined him, because relationship brings added value to physical activities. Because even though we run and we can talk while we're running, because I would like be dead if I also had to talk while I'm running. After that, we can take a walk and talk and socialize, and this is truly where the social component of sport is important, to form bonds that not only enhance the possibility of having physical activities in the neighborhood, but also just for the sake of it, so for the sake of socialization. The pilot tests and relationships and communication. I will go through really briefly. So the first task of the pilot test is to create a methodology that is transferable in all contexts. That's why we're bringing it at European level. You will need to involve stakeholders. You will need to sign informal agreements with them. So you need to identify first your stakeholders. So who would you like to involve? What stakeholder would you like to involve in your project, depending on the activities that you would like to do? For example, for the activities for older people, we involved Hauser, which is a volunteering association by elderly people for elderly people. So there was a service that came to pick up elderly people at their places and bring them, for example, to the park, or provide a little catering during the session. So you will need to see who would you like to participate with. Of course, this also involves public institutions such as the municipality in order to access to the venues freely. So let's see the keyword. The keyword is proximity. So what we will do is to implement activity close to home. This is a concept that is really stressed in next project. Let's see which venues will be possible. For example, in condominium courtyards, you will have all of this presentation ready and available. So I won't go through them really deeply. So you will have access to them. So condominium courtyard, mostly for the children, for young adults, for implementing team sports and this kind of activities. Condominium common rooms, if you have access to them, you can have this fits a little size of participants, so you can implement standalone activities such as yoga, fitness, total body, and this is quite focused on activities with elderly and adults, because children in common rooms of the condominiums may be a little too noisy, so we have to take in consideration also that. Public park, of course, we always use the public parks. For example, it's really relaxing to have a yoga session in a public park, and this is a venue that can be used only from spring to autumn, because in winter it's a little bit chilly. But you can do anything in the park. You can work with adults, you can work with children, you can work with elderly, because you can do any activities. Streets and square can also be a great place for sport activities, as you can also add a cultural touch to your activities. For example, a walk in the city can be a great way to rediscover the history of the neighborhood, and for example, for children. Online activities are also permitted for the neighborhood sport project. As we know, we went through a lot of problems in 2020. So in exceptional ways, you can implement also online activities. So I will just go through all of this. So ways to involve the target groups. This is the communication, and this is what I wanted to focus about in my presentation. So what you will need to do is, of course, to identify the territorial subject that you need to involve in the partnership, research about them, and contact them. So before contacting a stakeholder or a participant or a target group, you need to research about them, so you know how to influence them in joining your activities. Signing of memoranda of understanding with the association that you would like to involve, as I said before. Definition of physical activities for age groups and based on instructor skills. Of course, you will need to define different activities for different target groups. Planning of meeting to raise awareness about the risk, and documentation activities, including videos. So this is very good for the learning part of the project. So the awareness of people about the importance of a healthy lifestyle, but it's also a great way to involve participants and make them have relationship with each other. So to enhance their opportunities to implement physical activity. Creation of open space for exchange, communication, interaction between subjects of different ages and skills. So organize as much events as you can to put people in relation with each other. These are the target group that we most likely would like to involve in the activity. So the elderly population, adults, the elderly population at risk of isolation, sedentary adults or at risk of sedentary lifestyle, overweight and sedentary young people at risk of obesity and sedentary lifestyle, young needs at risk of deviance, and children. So relevant stakeholders to involve, and then I'm done. Of course, as I said before, you will have access to all of this presentation. We will probably have a focus on these kind of topics that we are really passing on briefly on the next part of the capacity building program in September. So don't worry if you don't get all the concepts right now. I'm trying to be as fast as possible. So local volunteering and social promotion association, as I was saying before, my example was AUSER, that is the volunteering association from elderly people, external sport association that can provide you with more activities, condominium administration and their staff, local administration, and public housing administration. So you have this kind of stakeholder. In Italy, we have this kind of stakeholders. Of course, maybe in your country there are different stakeholders, and that's okay. Any organization that can help you implementing the activities.